I'm so glad you're here. Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, my name is Morgan, and today we're talking about 25 things I do not buy anymore to save money, have a more minimal lifestyle, and what we do instead. And be sure to stay with me until the end because the last one is a little hack DIY that you might get some real use from. So I moved to New Zealand with my fiance and dog, this dog right here, a couple of years ago for a peaceful lifestyle and to get ready to start having a family. And this minimal way of living not only makes my house look cleaner and more simple, it in turn makes my insides feel calmer and clear as well. Let's get into it. The first item I do not buy is cards. I love making my own cards, putting time into them, and it's how I show my love for someone. First, I find inspiration for the cards I make for people, and then I put a personal spin on it. What I do is I buy a bulk packet of blank cards and envelopes. I also buy these little watercolor sheets, and then draw and paint on it, write on the inside, and glue that sheet to the top. Next is getting expensive drinks out and about, whether it's coffee or kombucha or a smoothie. I looked the other day at a coffee shop that our friends own here in town and $10 for a smoothie. Come on, I just can't. What I can do is make some real tasty ones at home. And if you're interested, I will link that right up here. Also, artificial candles. I did some research on this topic to reach this decision a few years ago, but you really don't need to realize that burning liquid plastic and breathing in those fumes is probably a bad idea. The fourth item I don't pay for is hair care products like dry shampoo, hairspray, and texture spray. For when I want my hair to be just a little bit more wavy and voluminous, I'll take all the volume I can get. Instead, I make my own out of natural ingredients that are inexpensive and work really, really well. Next is cotton balls and pads. I swapped to some organic bamboo wipes that I can use for taking off makeup or applying whatever else, and they come with this little bag and I just stick them in after I'm all done and give them all a wash at the same time. Then there are shower loofahs, sponges, and that sort of body cleaning item. Turns out they're gross. They harbor bacteria, especially if you've had them in there for a while. I mean, they are just sitting there all the time, damp and dark, and in what is really a petri dish. That's what it is, petri dish. Instead, we use an organic cotton washcloth that is swapped out every day. They're easy to wash and are guaranteed to not reintroduce all the bacteria from the entire last 6 months onto your body. By the way, if you like this kind of content, like lifestyle videos about everything health and wellness, I make those exact videos about our whole journey to starting a family. And if you would pretty please subscribe to my channel, I have new content every week for you and it would really help support me. The seventh item I do not buy is produce that is out of season and inorganic. Fruits and vegetables out of season are super expensive if they're organic, and they are hard to grow, which means there's a low supply and a high demand, increasing the price. Hashtag economics. And if they are not organic and out of season, they're expensive because they've been trucked in, or in our case, flown in, as we are living here in New Zealand. And it makes sense that they are, right? Because of all that fuel being used to get them all the way over here. So when we do buy produce, it is in season and organic. Number 8 is cheap appliances, like the major ones. Vacuums, food processors, Vitamixes. It's just been too many times now that they've broken and been replaced. So now we make sure to buy good quality ones, and luckily they are pretty easy to find secondhand here in New Zealand. And because they're good quality, it's okay that they're 5 years old. Go Dyson! Next is bottled water. Big fan of these reusable stainless steel bottles with the straws. They keep my whites whiter and my brights brighter. I'm just kidding, but they do keep my water warm, and straws just seem to make things more fun to drink. The 10th item we do not buy is fancy dog food. I make most of Mr. Barkley's dog food, and for a video on how I do that very inexpensively, I will post it right up here. It is zero waste and keeps with what his diet should be as a wolf ancestor. Well, I guess he is still a wolf technically because, like, I'm Morgan Wolf. Anyway, no one has ever laughed at that joke. Aww. 11 is unethical meats. And a great way to do this is to buy from local farmers in bulk and then freeze it for later. That way you know how the animal was treated and that all your ground meat, or mince as they say over here, is from one animal who just had the one bad day. Just the one. Now, sadly, we don't eat tasty gluten any longer. I haven't for the last 7 years or so since my nutritional schooling, but I'll go into that a bit more in another video. But basically, it just makes me very itchy and brain foggy. Number 13 is buying new clothes without trying to salvage my current ones. I recently purchased a sewing machine. Okay, that's not true. I got a sewing machine for my birthday 2 years ago and it has been sitting in my closet. But I have been learning the magical art of altering clothes, hemming pants, making things fit my abnormally shaped body, and it is going to save loads of cash. Plus, shopping is a little annoying here because here in New Zealand, it's really best to go into store to purchase things because of the whole not being able to return things at most places thing. Next is unclean makeup, meaning no makeup with junky ingredients in it that could be carcinogenic. I realized after swapping all of my other products that, hey, probably the stuff that you put directly in your eyes should be safe also, smarty pants. I did find 2 brands that I really love and it took me a long time to find them, so I will make a video on that as well. Number 15 is cheap jewelry, and boy, did I love wearing it. Quantity over quality, I said, but no more. Minimalist Morgan has arrived and she is tired of her not real jewelry turning unnatural colors. Number 16 is store-bought cleaning products. We do not buy them and instead we make our own. We're talking bathroom cleaner, we're talking kitchen cleaner, window cleaner, all the cleaning cleaners. It is inexpensive to do and they have no nasty chemicals in them. And if you'd like to watch a video on just that, I will link it up here. The next item I don't buy is a lot of overpriced pre-made foods that I can easily make at home, like pre-cut up vegetables, chicken broth, pre-made soups, granola bars, snacks, popsicles, anything that I can make easily enough that saves money and that normally would come with a lot of additives and preservatives that we just find gross. Now there are a few items that I could make but I've chosen not to after trying them out. I just find them time consuming, or actually they end up being more expensive to make at home, or they require a fancy kitchen tool that we don't have space for in our teeny tiny kitchen. If you've seen my house tour video, I think I'll make that video on its own, so stay tuned for that. It might save you some time as well. 18 is uncomfortable shoes, meaning cheap shoes and high heels. I've never been a heel fan, probably because I'm double the height of most humans anyway. I mean, really, like, I don't even fit in the shot. I'm giant. Next is physical CDs and DVDs, and I gotta say, this has been the case for quite some time now. In fact, I actually didn't know people still buy them, and if you do, you know, no shame, but where do you put them? We definitely didn't have room in our 4 boxes we brought over from America. Number 20 is decor, meaning like knickknacks that aren't meaningful or homemade. I painted a Mr. Barkley painting. I think you can see it there. That way he can stare at us while we sleep. And utilized a lot of natural materials I found, like wood and hemp and yarn, to make hanging things. Speaking of buying stuff, you know, Brandon and I were just discussing buying something, but we realized there is literally no space in our tiny house to put that, so let's skip it. And that is really a good way to look at it for us. If it doesn't have a place or isn't replacing something, it's just no go. It's just not the time for that purchase. And if you guys have things that you don't buy that aren't on my list, I'd really like to know, so put it down in the comments below so I can take a look. Also, nail services. I'll get into why at a later date, but they're expensive, not great for your nails. Why do I feel like that was a very controversial thing to say? But we do feel better using our money for services with like getting a massage or acupuncture treatments. 22 is dairy. Again, this is just personal, but it gives me breakouts and phlegm, and I have other opinions on it, but I won't get into that here. Number 23 is self-care products. I no longer buy fancy expensive face creams and washes, and I've even stopped using traditional shampoos and conditioners. I've switched to clean, organic, simple, homemade products that work really great. And I'll show you how I did that up here. And do stay tuned for a no poo update. I will be sharing how that process is going quite soon. 24 is excess undergarments. I have 2 bras, 1 nude, 1 black. They're very expensive as it is, and I mean, what are you gonna wear over a bright red and yellow polka dot bra? Do you need that? And lastly, number 25 is expensive improvements to our rental home. We have chosen to do simple, inexpensive tricks and be resourceful instead of spending a ton that we would just leave behind anyway when we move. For instance, curtain hooks. I did a bit of shopping, and those metal curtain hook things that hold back curtains, plus the proper curtain sashes, stupid expensive. So I just used some macrame that I already had, plus these little plastic clear hooks that come off easily and you can barely notice. Also, we did need a little shelf deal to hold some gardening things because the bucket that was holding them was filling up with water and taking up space outside. So here we go, a plastic like laundry stacking shelf, I think. It won't rust and it was really expensive and now quite convenient. So what do we do with all this money that we're saving? Well, I'm actually making a video about that to show you where it all goes, but I'll give you a hint. It's food. Boy, you have so many videos to look forward to and I'm really enjoying making them. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and please subscribe to my channel. I make new ones every single week, and if you have any questions or ideas for more videos, let me know in the comments below. I'd really love for you to come on this journey with me, and we'll see you next week. Bye guys. And be sure to stick to the end. Stick to the end. Stick to the end. That's what it is. That's what it is. Pre-cut up vegetables, and that would normally cheap shoot aren't meaningful or form a bit controversial to say. That's for now. And be resourceful, and be resourceful. A robot has taken over. Morgan the robot girl, welcome to my channel.